I think my last video on this platform was about the Nigerian government doing the needful to make sure that those 11 Air Force personnel that was detained in Burkina Faso get released. But breaking just yesterday is that the federal government of Nigeria have sent delegates to Burkina Faso to meet with Brian Troy about the 11 detained Air Force personnel. And after the meeting, I've seen APC boys coming out online to say, you want to try Nigeria, we're the giant of Africa, no one can try us. The 11 Air Force personnel were released unconditionally, saying all sort of things. But one thing about them, about the APC boys, is that they like lying to themselves. We all know the truth. Nigerian delegate that was led by Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, went to Burkina Faso to meet with Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. We all know what they are going there to do. One is to strengthen bilateral relationship, and secondly is to see how they can plead for the release of those men. Yes, this is how they can plead for the release of those men. Why am I using the word plead? One, Nigeria is guilty of violating the airspace rules, the airspace law. So they're not going there to go and show prowess, to go and show power, to go and show my dad you're the giant of Africa, that you can do anything you like. No. Let's not forget, Ibrahim Traore is not in the league of the African leaders that we have now. He's not in the league of the African leaders that we have now. That man is fucking knowing what he's doing in every single game he chooses to face. So let's think straight and let's be very frank to ourselves. They went there to go and see how they can, one, strengthen bilateral relationship, and secondly, see how they can plead for the release of those 11 detained Air Force personnel that are still there in Burkina Faso. But let's come back to how this thing all started. First and foremost, the government of Nigeria debunked the news that those men are in Burkina Faso, that they are detained in Burkina Faso, and that the aircraft is also there, is also grounded in Burkina Faso, that the aircraft is back to Nigeria, and those men flown back to Nigeria. So now, they're trying to play politics with it, and, you know, the media space has a way of revealing things. So it got to a point that they could not debunk anymore. They have to accept the truth. Because this thing I'm saying now is this. Media houses, bloggers carried that period that those men have returned to Nigeria. All of a sudden, the news changed that the men are still being detained and everything was conflicting. But now that the federal government of Nigeria have sent delegates to Burkina Faso, we know why they are there. One, strengthen bilateral relationship. And secondly, see how those men can be released. As I'm making this video, the news is flying that those men are released unconditionally. But let's be factual, because I don't think Burkina Faso and the president of Burkina Faso, talking of Ibrahim Traore, will just take a yes for everything that you're coming to say. There must be an exchange of hand. And we know this is international politics. It cannot just happen. You must give something for something to be released. You understand? Let's be factual. You cannot just go and tell Burkina Faso, and they will release those men. You violated the airspace rule, so they must get something from you. It's a good one, because my last video, I said it openly that I'm urging the president of Nigeria, I'm urging Bola Ahmed Tinubu to drop down his ego and make sure that those men are released. And I'm happy that there's a delegate now in Burkina Faso. But let's just hope that they are released, and let's just have a full briefing of the transaction that took place for them to be released. Peace and love.